The 6th of November, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
Bezrat Hashem.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's put away the Sefer Nehemiah. See you tomorrow, Bezrat Hashem. And take the Bava Metzia. Bava Metzia, we are up to Amar Reb Ashi. Amar Reb Ashi.
Why are they so heavy?
I can hear you, Roy.
Hello, I hear you.
Yeah, I wonder why these are so heavy. They don't take into consideration me. Oh,
What are you talking about? They make them in different whatchamacallits, so it makes it easier.
well.
You could get a smaller one, but then you can't read it because the letters are too small.
Right. There's not one thing, then it's another. Okay.
Yeah, I had a Talmud who knew Rabbi Sherman of the Art Scroll. So he asked him, how come you don't have a siddur that has big letters that people can read it? So he said, listen, you get a donator. This is how Art Scroll works,
Mhm.
You get a donator who wants to donate the to do the project, so it can be done.
Mm.
But yeah, there are places that you could get sidurim that have large, like large letters, and then of course there's the magnifying glasses that you can use. But yeah, as far as the remedy for heavy sforim, they haven't come up with anything yet, other than just to have small sforim, pocket-sized sforim. Yes, they have two. Then you need a telescope.
Right.
Okay, so Omar Rav Ashi. Omar Rav Ashi.
What is that? Oh, yes, I see.
Oh yeah, you see? Oh, good. So you could start reading right away, Roy.
Where
Let's
are
get
you,
going.
I'm in the middle of the second paragraph on 24b1 on the right hand side.
Thank you. Got it.
Omar Rav Ashi.
Amar Rav Ashi, the kan Kana. Rav Ashi said, in regard to its container, we're talking about the wine. Although the wine is prohibited, the container may be kept and used because it is assumed to have belonged to a Canaanite.
So we have to really read the question that Rav Ashi is coming to answer. Rav Ashi is not saying a statement; he's giving an answer to something.
Right.
What was the Gemora's question?
The Gemara says the question, the actual ruling of Rav Ashi. V'chi ma'acha dala siro b'hanoah. Now, since the wine that was found is forbidden for benefit, moteres mashum metzia the may halachisa. To what practical matter of law is it relevant that it is permitted as regards a found object? Talking about how is the law relevant that the wine is permitted as regards a found object?
Yeah. Now remember, we said at the end of the day, the Gemora said, what's the din when a Jew comes along and identifies it? So in that case, if a Jew comes along and identifies it, I believe that he'd be able to drink the wine. That's what the Gemora. Yeah, in fact, that's the Gemora said explicitly. The fighter could drink the wine, and we assume that the one that lost it, he was miyayish, and who asked, even if he's running and coming and saying he lost his wine, here's the simon. Yes, even in that case also, because we say he initially certainly gave up hope because it was lost in a place which is the Rov Kanani. So he despaired. This that he's coming now is after the fact. Yeah. Okay. So in any case, so the Gemora's question is before this Jew comes and claims the item and says that it belongs to him, and he can prove it because he has a simon. Before the Jew comes, the Gemora said this item is mutter mishum metzia. Why is it? What about it is mutter? True, you don't have to announce it, but the wine itself is not mutter. So what does the Gemara mean when it says mutter mishum metzia? It's mutter. What about it is mutter? In other words, it's interesting. On the one hand, in regard to the obligation to announce to announce that it's been lost, you can rely on the fact that it was lost by a Kanani, and therefore you don't need to announce it because you don't have any mitzvah to return to a Kanani. You don't have an obligation, at least. But now, when it comes to drinking that wine, we're not going to allow you to say, "Oh, it came from a Kanani." We're not going to allow that. So that's what the Gemora's question is all about. What's the practice? What do you mean that it's mutter? You don't mean that you could drink the wine. Can't drink the wine. So in that, Rav Ashi is saying, yeah, but you could use the can that the wine was in. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now we go to the next. We go to the next Gemora. Hahu Gavra.
Okay, before, wait a second. I just want to, it was,
Yeah.
no, we don't we have the whatchamacallit, that Rashi about that it's muteret, mishum metzia, the einu chayev lachriz, he doesn't have to announce it.
Right, he doesn't have to announce it.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to announce it.
Do we do this other one? Do we have to do this with Asura? We did this before, but Asura Bahana. Because it's correct. We ask if it's the heter yesh. Let's say what good is this? That it's permitted and is fine because it's Yayanesa.
Again, we don't know that it's Yain Nesach. We have a doubt.
We have a doubt, right? So the chief shouldn't do it, right?
But we have to. In other words, we're allowing ourselves to be makel in regard to the obligation to announce it. When it comes to that issue, we say you don't have to announce. Why not? Maybe it belongs to a Jew. Announce it. No, you're not obligated to announce it. Why? Apparently, because you can rely on the fact that it was found. You found it in a place that's Rov Kananim. So then the guy's going to say, "Oh, so if I can So if I don't have to announce it, so I can drink it, right? And then we say to him, no, you can't drink it. He says, why? You just got through telling me I don't have to announce it. No, because in that, when it comes to drinking it, you have to be worried that maybe it does belong to a Kanani. Yeah. In other words, we burned the candle at both ends over here. In a certain sense, we're using this, that we're going according to the Rove, both Lakula and Lachumra. You see that? When it comes to the obligation to announce, we're going Lakula. You don't need to announce it because it's Rove Kananim. But also, we say that it's Rove Kananim when it comes to the issue of drinking it. It actually is consistent, in other words, like that, if you think about it. It's consistent. With regard to the whole story about this wine, we have to take into account, we can rely that it belongs to that it comes from a Kanani, and therefore we don't need to announce it, and we also but when it comes to drinking it, we also have to take into account that maybe it does belong to a Kanani, and therefore we cannot drink it. Now, what happens when the Jew comes along and he claims it?
And then we know that it's okay, the wine.
Then what does the Gemora say then? O Yisrael v'nosin bo simen muteris b'shtia. When the Yisrael comes and he identifies it and says, yes, this is my wine, I can prove it to you, I have a siman, he brings a siman, and it's a proper siman. So then Ravasi said, muteris b'shtia l'motza'ah. It's permissible for the finder to now drink it. He can now drink it. Who can drink it? The finder. What about the person that says he lost it? It's his. No, we say we say he was Mi'ayish.
Okay,
we say he was Mi'ayish. Doesn't belong to him anymore.
Let's get to the Rashi. It's by Yisrael, the attendant Simon. The Jew comes along as a Simon. Yotza Misafek, that takes it out of a doubt of a Yayin Kanani, that it's Kanani, because now the Jew's claiming it's mine. He's given a Simon. This is mine. It's not longer the Kanani. The Muteret, B'shtia, and now L'motza, now it's permitted to drink, the finder could drink it. The Kavan, the Ruba Kananim, that the majority of the Kananim, Nitya Yeshu Habalim, the owners have that's sort of like the Canaan owners have kind of like given up on it. It sounds like when we say Habalim.
No, the Jewish, we say the Jewish owner was Mi'ayish.
Okay, so if the Jewish
we're allowed to rely on the fact that the Jewish owner was Mi'ayish.
Yeah, so that means it belongs to him. The guy who finds it can keep it. If the Jewish owner is Mi'ayish.
Yeah. But he came and gave us a simon.
Okay.
So we say, so what? That doesn't mean he wasn't Mi'ayish.
Okay, let's read this. There is a Art Scroll note on
Art Scroll have a comment on that?
Yeah. The Jew's ability to identify the container of wine dispels our doubts that it may belong to a Canaanite. Nevertheless, it is presumed that the original owner has already despaired of finding the container because it was lost in an area with a Canaanite majority. Therefore, the finder may keep it and drink it.
What if the Jew says, I wasn't, I didn't give up hope, and that's mine. I can tell you that. Got this simon. And I knew I'd find it.
So what the art scroll say?
B24, note 16. Six and 7. Well, the notes that you've got here is that Reb Shimon note 6, Shimon ben Elazar certainly permits one to keep what he finds in a place where the majority of people are Canaanites. It is uncertain whether he permits this where the majority are Jews. If he does, Rav Asi rules against him in this case. Nevertheless, we can at least demonstrate from this that the halacha follows Reb Shimon ben Elazar, where there is a Canaanite majority. Tosafos. Rif and Rosh go further and conclude that the halacha follows a view of Rav Asi that though one may keep what he finds in a place where the majority are Canaanites, he cannot do so where the majority are Jews. See also Shulchan Aruch, Oshen Mishpat 259, Pasuk 3.
No, but what we want to know is how come this finder can keep it? Because this Jew is coming and trying to claim it and prove it that it's his. So you see, he didn't give up.
Well, I don't know, but it says footnote 7, since there is nothing he can do with the wine, what is the point of saying that he's permitted to keep it?
It must be in one of those notes.
No Rashi? Tosafos?
We read the Rashi.
Yeah. No other Rashi? Tosafos?
No, there's no Tosfos.
Yeah, in other words, I mean, we don't really have a doubt over here. We know that it is going to belong to the finder. That's what the Brisa says. And not a Brisa, it's the statement of Ravasi. But we know that that's the din. And Rashi's explaining that din. But we have a question on the din. Why is it that we're saying that in a case of Rov Kananim, the Bailim Nisyaishua Bailim, we see he wasn't Miyayish. We see he's coming to give a simon. We see he's trying to come and claim his lost item. So I was thinking one other possibility could be that the halacha doesn't recognize him because since we say that this is what a person is going to do, he's going to be miyayish. We have a principle of batla daitza, etzel kol adam. His das is batla to the norm. The norm is a person is miyayish. So either one of those two answers, I think. Either we say that he initially was actually miyayish himself, and he changed his mind, now he's coming. Or we say that we don't take his opinion into account because the norm is not like that. The norm is that a person is miyayish, and that's going to be koveya the halacha over here. And I'm surprised that ArtScroll doesn't address the question.
It does actually, but what it says doesn't make sense to me. I'll read it to you. The Jew's ability to identify the container of wine dispels our doubts that it may have belonged to a Canaanite. Nonetheless, it is presumed that the original owner has already despaired of finding the container because it was lost in an area with a Canaanite majority. Therefore, the finder may keep it and drink it.
Yeah, that's just a translation of Rashi. I don't see Rashi clearly explaining the answer to your question.
Yeah.
What's note 24A? What's 24A note 16? 24A.
That's the previous page, note 16. 24A. There are two reasons why one is permitted to keep a found object in such an area. Because it was likely lost by a Canaanite, and there is no obligation to return it, to return the lost object of a Canaanite. And because even if it was lost by a Jew, he despairs of recovering it. The reason he despairs is because he thinks it likely that a Canaanite will find it and not return it, or that even if a Jew finds it, he will not announce it because he will assume that it was lost by a Canaanite. Although both reasons are valid, the second, i.e. the owner's despair of recovery, is more inclusive, since it permits to keep what he finds even if he knows that it was lost by a Jew. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar therefore gives this second reason as the basis for the finder's right to keep the object, according to Tosfos.
Oh. Which Tosfos is that? And we'll take a look. I don't know. But in any case, in other words, let's say you found a pair of tefillin, right? Now, you know a pair of tefillin belongs to a Jew. There's no doubt about it. So it seems like what Tosfos is saying is that according to the second reason, that the Jew knows that it's not necessarily so that a fellow Jew is going to find it, because after all, it's in the case of Rov Kananim. And not only that, but even if a Jew does find it, well, one second. Why would he be obligated? Why would he not be obligated to announce it? He knows that it belongs to a Jew. The whole reason why he wouldn't need to announce is because he can go according to the Rov. But this is but the Goyim don't own tefillin. It's obvious that it's lost by a Jew. Maybe tefillin is different. I don't know.
I
It would seem that
think that based on the Rashi, we'd say it's definitely different. Because the Rashi is saying that a lot depends on the Me'ayush because it's in the Canaanite area.
Oh, you mean in other words, since the Jew that owned the tefillin is going to be Me'ayish, because it's a case of Rov Kanan, it's a place of Rov Kananim. Since the Jew is going to be Me'ayish, so then the other Jew that finds it, even though he knows it belongs to another Jew, he doesn't have to announce it. That's what Tosfos is saying. There's not going to be any obligation to announce if the Jew was Me'ayish. So the reason that the Jew is going to be Me'ayish in that case is because he lost it in a place of Rov Kananim. He's not going to uh, hope that maybe a Jew will find it and therefore not be miyayish.
But if he lost tefillin, I think we would also say that he's going to be meyayish because he's assuming that a Canaanite will find it and will not do the right thing with it.
Right,
He
exactly.
won't know what it is and he'll throw it out, or he will know what it is and he'll sell it.
Right. So that's why the Jewish finder, he wouldn't, strictly speaking, he wouldn't have an obligation to announce it. I mean, certainly the if he would go to a Rav, the Rav would say, certainly announce it. Because it would certainly be a mitzvah to locate that Jew. And it's obvious that it belongs to a Jew. And it's tefillin. And so it would certainly be a chesed to another Jew to announce it, so the Jew doesn't lose his tefillin. But strictly speaking, there would not be an obligation to announce because of the fact that he's because of what you said, that the Jew that lost it was certainly miyayish.
Right.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Should we go to the next case? We got 5 more minutes. How Gavra? Lou, you want to read?
Hahu Gavra. There was a certain man, Da'ash Kach Arba'a Zuze, who found 4 zuzim, dit Tyrei Bisdina. They were tied up in a cloth. The Shadu bin Har Biran, and cast into the Biran River. Ata Likame de Rav Yehuda. He came before Rav Yehuda. Amar Le, Rav Yehuda said to him, Zil Achriz, go and announce it. So my question would be, if we learned that if something is washed away by a river, then we assume meyayish. And so why does he announce it? He should keep it.
Keep going, if you like. Gemora answers your question.
I mean, it may have a simon, but we assume that the Jew who lost it is going to say, well, it got washed away by the river. You know, who knows where it's going to end up? Who knows who's going to find it, if anybody finds it, and what they'll do with it.
I would say it's even more than a case of Zutel Shel Yam. Zutel Shel Yam, the person didn't intentionally throw away his item. Over here, to me, it sounds like this item was just cast into the river. This sounds more like an Aveda Midas, a knowing relinquishment of the item.
Well, I agree with you. That's the way it's written, but practically speaking, how could you know?
Would someone do that with money?
in the riverbank.
Oh, in other words, the person that finds it, he wouldn't. He doesn't know. He doesn't know the circumstances of how it's there, so he would have to assume that the most reasonable thing to assume. I mean, the most he would have to go with the most conservative possibility. The most conservative possibility is that it was not intentionally thrown into the river, but maybe it was. Maybe it got here because of the river overflowed and it just deposited this cloth of money over here. So that's why the Gemora is asking that question. That's your question. The Gemora is asking your question. It's a case of Zuta Shel Yam. Why did Rav Yehuda say that go tell this Jew Zil Hachriz, go and announce it. You have an obligation to announce this.
Right. So it answers, and it says, Shani Nahar Biran. The Biran River is different. Kevan de Mis Kiel, because it has obstacles. Lo Meyayish. The English says, since it has obstacles in it, then we don't assume that it's just going to go on for a long distance.
Couldn't have gone too far.
Right. Therefore, somebody will find it and they'll assume it's from this area and they'll announce it.
Therefore, the one that lost it, he doesn't give up. Even in the case of Zuta Shel Yam, he won't give up because
right.
because the Biran River was overflowed.
Right.
Not going to be washed too far away.
Okay, let's finish the Rashi and then we can get to that. We're up to the Shodo ben Nahar Biran. He threw in the Bihar Rabbin. Moshlichen ben Nahabia, and he threw it into this Biran River. And then it says, here's that phrase, Dematkiel or Maskiel, that it says, Yeshbo Michsholim Avanim. There are these stones that are, in the way, so to speak. The stimat, and it stops it up. A geder, like a blockage, like a fence type thing. She'osim ledagim. Okay, so it's actually it's a net to catch fish. V'lo miyayish, and he's not going to be miyayish in this because he's savar, because he holds lo yichal nahar laholicham chutz lemichsharim. The river is not going to be able to get them out of the traps that it has, out of the blockages. The regilin hayu, he was l'sochram socher ulanakoto. I don't know what the socher. He takes it, sells it. Socher, he's going to.
Hayu l'sochro ulinkoso
Ulanakato is taken. Ulachrotam. Sheyishot imed, because he will be able to take it with his hands. The somech, and we hold sheyimtza kayishcharo oto v'nikarim. When he, what's this word socher? He's going to then take it. What is socher? Sochrato. That's the word we need.
Yeah. What is Rashi saying over here?
He's using the word, the art scroll uses the word dredging the river.
Oh, when they dredge the river in other words, they're dredging up the river to see what these nets and what these rocks caught in their way.
Right.
So they'll be able to wash off the whatever it is that's and then they'll
Right.
clean the thing, and then they'll be able to. Then the lost owner will be able to get his thing back.
Mhm.
So that's
Right.
Rashi's saying that's part of the answer that not only does the river hold back these things, but it's a regulus, it's a common a practice that they do with this river, that they dredge up the things that the river catches.
Right. Okay. Good.
Hey, Rabbi.
All right, very good.
Hello. Take care. Be well.
Okay, have a good Shabbos, a great Shabbos.
Yeah.
Phil, see you
See
tomorrow,
you
Rabbi.
tomorrow morning. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye, Phil.